Hello there, welcome back. My name is Luis Wanju. I'm a student at Lamar State College, Orange, Texas, and I'm taking a history class called 1301 81S. And I'll be talking about the second book here. My professor's name is Mr. Davis, and the second book is called United States History to 1877 Times of Change and Challenge by Peter Sahiridis, San Diego, Cornell Academic Publishing, 2017, 322 pages, and it costs $133.95. Peter Sahiridis' United States History to 1877 Times of Change and Challenge offers a thematic and analytical approach to early American history, covering colonization, independence, nation building, and the Civil War. Unlike purely narrative histories, Sahiridis organizes the text around critical turning points, emphasizing how political, economic, and social forces interacted to shape the American experience. His work is concise yet rigorous, making it suitable for students seeking clarity without sacrificing depth. The author's commentary frames US history as a series of challenges to ideals of liberty and equality. He argues that the contradictions between the democratic principles and systemic inequalities, especially slavery, were evident from the founding era. For example, Sahiridis writes, and I quote, "The promise of freedom coexisted with the reality of bondage." This quote is found on page 78 of the book. This highlighted the paradox at the heart of the Republic. He also suggests that sectional conflict was not an inevitable thing, but intensified by political miscalculations and economic divergence. This also is found on page 210 through 215 of the book. The author's point of view is critical, yet balanced. He acknowledges the achievements of the American democracy while scrutinizing its failures. His sources include primary documents such as the Declaration of Independence and the speeches by Lincoln, integrated with scholarly interpretations. One strength of the book is its attention to structural factors, economic systems, demographic shifts, all those things that shaped political outcomes. For example, his analysis of the market revolution on page 145 to 150 demonstrates how technological change deepened regional divisions and set the stage for civil strife. The most debatable proposition is Sahiridis' interpretation of the Civil War as a preventable strategy. I quote. He argues that compromise remained possible until the late 1850s. And I read, he said, open quote, "The collapse of dialogue, not destiny, led to secession." Unquote. This is found on page 230. So while compelling, this claim invites discussion about whether slavery's expansion made conflict unavoidable. Some historians might contend that the moral and economic stakes were too high for peaceful resolution. Other arguments are easier to accept, but Sahiridis convincingly shows that the revolution was both a political and social upheaval. that reshaped hierarchies and expanded participation, even as inequalities persisted. His treatment of Reconstruction is brief but insightful, framing it as an unfinished revolution whose failure left enduring legacies of racial injustices. This is found on page 200 through 205 of the book. One limitation of the book is its relative lack of cultural analysis. While the author addresses religion and ideology, readers seeking a deeper exploration of cultural life may find this aspect underdeveloped. Nonetheless, the thematic clarity and integration of primary sources compensate for this shortcoming. In all, United States history to 1877, Times of Change and Challenge, is a valuable resource for understanding the formative years of the United States. It combines the analytical rigor with accessibility, making it ideal for students and general readers. It highlights the tension between ideals and realities. Sari's work reminds us that American history is not a story of inevitability, but of contested choices. Thank you.